Get ready. Your manifestations are finally piercing through the veil. And now, your life will transform forever. Everything you've been manifesting is already here, but not in the way you imagine. With Neptune's retrograde portal wide open, your reality isn't materializing. It's unfolding. This isn't merely a celestial shift. This is a gradual soul awakening. What's been concealed beneath your dreams, your aspirations, your future plans, is now emerging. And be prepared, because soon you'll confront your deepest fear, but not as you'd expect. I'll share more soon. Keep watching. And recently, what visions have visited your sleep? They might carry more significance than you realize. Share your experiences in the comments. Your dream might resonate with someone else, or they might help you uncover meanings you've overlooked. But here's the unexpected aspect nobody's discussing. This portal doesn't just alter your perception. You'll begin sensing events before they unfold. Music. During this Neptune retrograde, your thoughts may wander into peculiar territories. A phrase someone will speak, a humorous incident yet to occur, a melody that suddenly appears in your mind. And then mysteriously, it manifests in reality. You won't be actively trying to foresee anything. Actually, the more unexpected it seems, the more authentic it becomes. It's as if you're detecting reality moments or even hours before it materializes. This transcends mere intuition. It's like your consciousness is touching the next timeline and collecting fragments before they solidify. You'll notice it because of its persistence, not just once, but repeatedly. Small, peculiar, precise details you couldn't have anticipated unless some part of you already knew. Music. If recent days have felt unusual, it's not your imagination. Something has opened. The Neptune retrograde doesn't commence on July 4th. It began seeping through days earlier when the psychic gates cracked open on the 1st. And likely, you experienced it in ways you couldn't quite describe. Perhaps you woke exhausted despite sleeping 10 hours, or thoughts of someone long forgotten suddenly surfaced. Or maybe inexplicably, you sensed something was amiss or right, but couldn't rationalize why. This is your subconscious bleeding into your conscious experience. Not gradually, not subtly, but like ink diffusing in water, clouding your perception, revealing what's been hidden beneath. You're not losing sanity. You're awakening in a dream that was never truly yours. All the versions of yourself you suppressed to maintain stability are beginning to stir. You might feel scattered, detached, or like time's behaving strangely. Racing one moment, crawling the next. That's the portal drawing you in. And the deeper you go, the clearer the symbols become. Your confusion marks the dissolution of illusion. The boundaries between conscious and unconscious aren't blurring. They're dissolving. And now everything suppressed is rewriting your reality in real time. And if you think escaping will protect you, reconsider. Your initial impulse might be to disconnect, pretend normalcy, but Neptune retrograde won't let you drift away. Not this time. Actually, the more you resist, the stronger it pulls you back. Avoiding a conversation, their voice will haunt your dreams. Fleeing from an unwanted truth, it'll manifest through symbols, signs, and synchronicities until it demands attention. Whatever you attempt to escape during this portal will resonate louder in your subconscious. This isn't punishment. It's alignment, because Neptune governs fantasy, illusion, the narratives we create to avoid pain. But during retrograde, that illusion weakens. You might realize your current path isn't authentic, that the relationship you're trying to salvage is merely distraction, that your life's foundation was built on fear, not truth. And yes, it's overwhelming, but it's also the first genuine opportunity to reconnect with your authentic self. This portal brings peace, but through confrontation. You don't escape shadows by turning away. You escape by illuminating them. We often imagine our higher self perfectly poised, speaking wisdom, living purely. But Neptune retrograde disregards your aesthetic awakening ideals. In fact, it's about to dismantle them. Your true higher self won't always embody light. Sometimes it arrives as chaos. This season, The masks you didn't recognize wearing begin falling, especially those labeled spiritual. Your usual practices might feel hollow. Perhaps rituals feel empty. Maybe familiar mantras now sound meaningless. Perhaps you're questioning your motivations. That's not regression. That's authentic awakening emerging, not the fantasy version. It's the one beneath all carefully constructed layers. The real higher self doesn't always speak poetically. Sometimes it screams. Sometimes it disrupts plans. Sometimes it pulls you from a path that appeared right but wasn't aligned. And yes, it's disorienting. Everything you've worked toward might seem to dissolve, but that's because it wasn't authentically yours. It was the idealized version, not the true version. Your higher self isn't an upgrade. It's a return. Neptune retrograde has no tolerance for pretense. It demands alignment, realignment. And if your current direction doesn't align with your authentic self, expect sudden collapse. This isn't destruction. This is sacred disruption. The real higher self doesn't care about appearances. It only cares about authenticity. And sometimes the only path forward requires burning the false path to ashes. Every spiritual recalibration includes moments of profound silence. When friends distance, messages cease. Your phone shows stillness, while your mind might worry. Did something go wrong? Why is everyone withdrawing? Something deeper understands. The silence isn't rejection. It's repositioning. When Neptune turns inward, you follow. This silence isn't abandonment. It's cosmic protection. A sacred isolation, clearing interference so upgrades can integrate cleanly. Because undoubtedly, your system is upgrading now emotionally, psychically, energetically. You might feel clouded, sluggish, heavy, like your consciousness is rebooting. That's not mere fatigue. It's active rewiring. You're entering solitude not from rejection, but because certain frequencies around you can't accompany you into your next evolution. Not yet. This retrograde doesn't want distraction from notifications, messages, superficial connections. It wants your attention because subtle signs surround you. But they're not obvious. They're whispers, hints, glimpses. Sometimes hearing new guidance requires silence. Don't worry, this isolation is temporary. Reconnection will come, but on new terms, clearer, stronger. You'll recognize who remains aligned and who was mere noise. Embrace current silence because what returns won't echo your past. This is the space between timelines. Don't rush to fill it. Experience it, because the people, ideas, and energies approaching won't fit your past self, only who you're becoming. Logic won't guide you, feeling will. If your mind seems uncooperative lately, thoughts moving slower, focus elusive, and usual clarity seems distant, that's not failure. That's the portal working. Neptune doesn't communicate in lists. It doesn't deliver guidance in neat, logical packages. It moves like mist, gentle, flowing, boundless. During retrograde, it doesn't just quiet your mind. It transforms it. And yes, that's frightening, especially if you rely on analysis, planning, control. But your logic is too limited to contain what your soul's receiving. This portal bypasses conscious filters, the parts that doubt, overthink. Try explaining the inexplicable. So slower movement, slippery memories, or difficulty expressing yourself are features, not flaws. When logic softens, emotions finally speak. You might experience sudden nostalgia or unnamed grief, or sensing future memories. This isn't time for understanding. It's time for sensing. Messages might come through textures, instincts, visual flashes, persistent song lyrics. That's Neptune's language. It speaks through poetry, déjà vu, inexplicable moods. Don't force understanding now. That's not the purpose. The portal opens through surrender, not intellect. Welcome the mist. Let it erase old maps. Because what follows isn't thought. It's knowing. Watch your nightmares. They reveal energy leaks. Neptune retrograde doesn't just awaken intuition. It illuminates shadows, speaking loudest through dreams. If dreams have intensified since July began, that's purposeful. Your subconscious is taking inventory. Neptune uses dreams diagnostically. It surfaces deep fears, hidden wounds, and unprocessed memories, not for punishment, but to reveal what's draining energy behind scenes. Dreams might feature long-gone people, unrealized scenarios that feel real, disturbing situations leaving you startled awake. Don't dismiss these. They're messages from your deepest psyche. Sometimes they reflect literal anxieties. Other times they're symbolic. Being chased suggesting avoidance, losing voice indicating suppressed truth. Remarkably, some dreams may preview future triggering moments. Not from curse, but preparation. Dreams don't create fears. They reveal necessary confrontations. These dreams are both predictive and reflective. They highlight energy drains so healing can begin. When strange dreams appear this week, don't forget them. Document them. Contemplate them. Question their message. Trust they're not meant to frighten. They're showing your path, because every fear masks a waiting breakthrough. Remember, dreams aren't fantasy. They're encoded guidance. If you feel like a walking cloud, heavy, confused, perhaps forgetful or emotionally distant, don't label yourself unmotivated. This isn't exhaustion. This is Neptune Retrograde reconfiguring your entire system. Your fatigue has purpose. You're connected to something vast, deep, invisible to ordinary sight. Neptune governs unseen realms, intuition, dreams, subconscious currents, spiritual memory. During retrograde, this energy turns inward. Your body becomes the stage for profound processing. Though days seem quiet, your inner world's transforming. This work happens during sleep. Dreams now are integration chambers. Your subconscious works intensely, releasing old wounds, incorporating cosmic downloads, processing ancestral patterns you didn't know you carried. Your body serves as vessel and ground. Sleep isn't escape, it's initiation. Dreams might be vivid or completely forgotten. Both are valid. Some wake feeling they've lived lifetimes in hours. Others wake heavier, slower, needing more rest, more quiet, more space to process feelings. That's natural. You're not falling behind. You're aligning with deeper rhythms. If your body demands rest, listen, don't resist. This isn't laziness. It's your spirit seeking quiet to communicate. Rest realigns your soul. Honor fatigue. Embrace drowsiness. If today only allows breathing and being, that's enough. You're not lazy. You're evolving. You're not disconnected. You're viewing the celestial blueprint. Sometimes fog descends when you're amid familiar surroundings, yet nothing feels real. Conversations sound distant. Tasks feel mechanical. Even emotions seem borrowed. Suddenly, you're observing your life, not living it. Like watching a movie, remembering a memory, experiencing a dream. You're half present. This isn't mental dissolution. It's soul dimension shifting. Neptune retrograde temporarily dissolves linear time and fixed identity illusions. It lifts you from your habitual self, the role you've learned, revealing its artifice. This floating sensation isn't disconnection. It's perspective. Your inner being removes the mask saying, see this role you've played. It's not your truth. Yes, it's destabilizing. You might feel lost, ungrounded, questioning recent desires and identity. That's intentional. Clarity doesn't always arrive as answers. Sometimes it begins as disillusionment. When reality feels unreal, it's often because your current version has lost alignment. The detachment creates space, a buffer allowing outdated structures to dissolve without overwhelming you. This floating signals deeper emergence, new alignment, truer path, transformed living, not just thinking. Don't panic. Don't fight it. Embrace the surreal. Breathe through uncertainty. Let old self-concepts gently fade. Because post-fog, you'll stand where you belong, in a life matching your soul. You're not drifting away. You're orbiting toward truth. You're not being punished. You're being awakened. Strange patterns emerge lately. Former comfort sources have lost power. You browse familiar apps, scroll endlessly, feel nothing. Favorite shows play like background noise. Even food or fantasy fail to satisfy. Instead of relief, you encounter emotional emptiness, like drinking from a dry well. If this resonates, you're not broken. You're not declining. This is Neptune Retrograde, removing illusions, one false comfort at a time. Escapism isn't always obvious. It's often subtle, disguised as self-care or relaxation. It's choosing one more episode, one more outing, one more day of pretending wellness despite clear struggle. But Neptune ends pretense. During retrograde, exits seal. Attempted escape routes lead back to self-confrontation. Former distractions amplify avoided issues. Fantasy exposes rather than protects. Addictions echo. Numbness becomes confining, not protective. False comfort can't soothe authentic pain anymore. This seems harsh but brings freedom. Neptune purifies your path, declaring, no more pretense, no more illusions. Face yourself fully, honestly, authentically. Initially, it feels raw, perhaps frightening. Truth always does after avoidance, but beneath discomfort rises something else: clarity. You'll recognize energy wasted on pretense, suppression, choosing comfort over growth, appearance over authenticity, fantasy over reality. Escapism delays pain and power equally. Here's the revelation. When you stop fleeing wounds, they stop pursuing. What haunts us isn't circumstances, but unfelt emotions. This retrograde grants courage to feel fully, not to remain stuck, but to release, integrate, transform. In that space, where distractions fall silent, you'll encounter something more comforting than any coping mechanism: your authentic self. One needing no escape. One handling truth. One finding peace through strength, not avoidance. But here's an overlooked aspect. When escapism fails, clarity doesn't always rush in. Sometimes emptiness arrives, a strange liminal space, like standing in silence after music stops, uncertain whether something's wrong or you're finally hearing your breath. This is Neptune Retrograde's uncomfortable wisdom. It doesn't replace distractions with instant answers. It creates space that initially feels awkward, boring, perhaps meaningless. But patience reveals whispers. That's when transformation begins. Real vision forms. Not escape fantasies, but reality your soul's ready to build. Something requiring no escape because it feels like home. Peace isn't found in exit. It's found in return. So celebrate when usual escapes fail. The shift has begun. You're no longer fleeing. You're returning home to yourself. And once there, you won't desire retreat. If you're still watching, thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed this content and want more, please consider subscribing. Your support means everything. Share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.